All right, week 6 of Better Together. Can you believe it? We've already had 6 weeks of incredible teaching, and honestly, I've been waiting all series for this talk. It's the second part of His Needs, Her Needs. Tonight we discuss His needs. So as you begin to listen to Pastor Charlie and Pastor Sandy, take good notes because I can't wait to have this discussion.
Welcome back to Better Together, our relationship series. We're on week 6, and we have enjoyed so much being with you and teaching and having the opportunity to pour into and watch marriages blossom. We've gotten more feedback over these last 6 weeks than we have for a long time, and so I'm glad it's an encouragement to you. And this night is one of our favorite subjects. We're talking about His needs, her needs, and we get to do the second half of that. We're talking about the needs of a man, the 5 basic foundational needs of a man. And what's the first one, sweetie?
It is going to be
affirmation.
And
compliments, right?
And
respect. Yeah. And what does that mean?
Well, I think that one thing, and a lot of women get into a habit of disrespecting and putting their husbands down. It's funny. It's what's culturally supposedly relevant in our sitcoms, TVs, and movies, the smart, sassy woman and kind of the dolt of a husband. And that isn't God's way. And we can get into this habit of being disrespectful, critical, putting our husbands down in front of other people. And what God says is He's designed man and men to actually need that affirmation from their wife, that compliment from their wife to say, hey, you are awesome. I think you're the greatest guy on the planet, and I think that you did a great job with that. And that's what they need. That is a basic need for them.
Build them up, be their best cheerleader. It doesn't matter what the world says about them, what their boss says about them. If their wife is for them, they can do anything. So ladies, you have an incredible amount of power, and the Bible actually commands it to affirm and to build up. Last week we gave you some action items to write down 3 things, guys, that you can talk to your wife about when you get home. Ladies, before you see your man in the evening, write down 3 things that you can compliment, affirm.
This is a great idea. Write it down so that you're ready with that compliment right when they get home, or they're ready with that compliment via text message. You're ready with that compliment when you talk with them on the phone, making sure that you are affirming your husband.
The next one, ladies, is recreational companionship. A couple that plays together stays together. Before you got married, you did all kinds of things together, and you played together, and you did all kinds of recreation together, and you got married, and what happened?
You start doing chores together.
Yeah, which one's more fun? And we think we're doing the other person a favor by saying, oh, hey, Sandy, why don't you go out with the girls? And then Sandy would go, oh, hey, you let me go out with the girls on Tuesday night. Why don't you go out with the guys on Thursday night? And so when I'm out with the guys, we're having fun. She's out with the girls, she's having fun. And we get back together, we are not
having fun.
So what happens?
And this is exactly opposite of what we did when we were dating.
Yeah.
When we were dating, we did our chores separately and got together to have fun together. And so it's just a complete 180 from what we did when we were dating and building our relationship up. So we need to find commonality and things that we can do together. It might not be your favorite thing. He might not want to go shopping with you. But is there something, like if you make a list of things that you like and you list one as a 7 and he lists it as a 6, that's what you need to go and do together.
When we got married, we said that the other person was our best friend. Mm-hmm. You know, I used to do all kinds of things with my best friends. And now with Sandy, we actually are doing things together that we didn't do before because we blew it so bad, but we have learned how to have fun together, recreate together, and we know that it absolutely enhances our marriage. If all we're doing is chores together, it makes me want to stay away. I don't make that conscious decision. It's a subconscious kind of thing, and you pull away. And if you've been pulling away in your relationship, ladies, maybe it's because you need to spend more time recreating together. Find something you can do this week.
Guys like to have that time, that side-by-side companionship. And women, as much as we want that communication to be face-to-face, we have to allow for recreational companionship to have that time to be side-to-side with our husbands. And you'll find more communication will happen in your relationship.
Okay, number 3, we're going to think guys are so shallow.
Oh, they need an attractive spouse.
I got a great one.
You're so nice.
Guys are visual. Ladies, you know that. And they want their wives to look awesome. We want to be proud of our wives. We want to take our wives out and have guys turn their heads and look. Don't touch, but look and go, how did that idiot get that good-looking babe? And it makes us feel so proud. It is something that's for us. And so, ladies, maybe do some things that maybe you did before, right?
Right, exactly. Again, when you found those great things to do together, I bet you took time getting ready. I bet you did your hair, put some makeup on, put an outfit together and said, I'm ready. I want him to see me looking just like this. And if your husband, he sees you getting ready for other things, for work, for going out with friends, for coming to church on the ridge, whatever it is, but you're never getting ready just for him, that speaks volumes to him, and it's actually hurtful for him.
Yeah, it's a sign of disrespect even.
Yeah, so really that getting ready, making the most of what you have. You don't have to look like a magazine cover, but doing the best with what you have and then having that confidence, knowing he is attracted to you, and then owning that.
Be confident with what you have, ladies. And maybe this week, ask him, hey, which outfit do you like me in that I can wear
in public?
In public, all right.
Yes. And wear it.
Yeah, we'll get to number 5 in a bit. Number four is domestic support.
Yes.
And this is going to sound chauvinistic to some of you because we live in such a world where so many wives are working. It's not a leave it to Beaver, June Cleaver kind of thing, staying home. But there is still something within a man that when he comes home, when he comes into his house, he wants it to be a place of serenity, a place of peace, a place where he can go, there's so much chaos at work. Everybody wants a piece of him. Everybody's trying to get something out of him. And it may be true for the same for you ladies as well. But for a guy, he wants to be able to come in and go, oh, nobody wants a piece of me. Nobody wants something out of me. There's not disheveled chaos everywhere. My wife's not handing me the to-do list as soon as I walk through the door. But it's a place where he can go, oh, I'm home.
And then have that little bit of unwind time. John Gray in his book, Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, calls it the cave. Yeah. And it's kind of that nothing compartment in their brain. Women, we're all this spaghetti in our brain and we can't pull things apart to save our lives, but men can. And they have that compartment where they just need a little bit of nothing so that they can be better at all the somethings we want them to be involved in.
Ladies, how many times have you asked your husband, what are you thinking about? And his response has been, nothing. And he's being absolutely honest with you. He's not thinking about anything because in the back of his mind, he's working through a problem, but it's not in the front of his mind. So he's playing a video game, he's watching sports, he's just doing nothing.
And he can't camp there for the whole night.
Yeah, guys.
But having that domestic support that allows for a little bit of nothing time is really important to our men.
Okay, so ladies, maybe ask your husband, how can I meet this need in your world this week? And then the last one, number 5, the one we've all been waiting for, guys, sexual fulfillment.
Yes. And we as women, I shouldn't say we as women, I want to say that in our years of working with different people and their marriages, this has been one of the just gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching pieces of so many couples' stories. When we hear that their intimacy, they have not had an intimate relationship for months, years, that sometimes as far as having any kind of intimacy in the relationship, it's 4 or 5 times a year, or even 2 or 3 times a month. And we're like, no, that actually is not okay for men.
Yeah, ladies, men are not shallow. They were created by God this way, to have an attractive spouse, be very visual, and then to have this need for sexual fulfillment, where you actually desire him. Not that you simply let him use you. That is not the same thing.
No.
In fact, it's very much a takeaway. It's actually a drain. But when you actually desire him, it gives him confidence. It makes him feel like he's valuable. It makes him feel like he can conquer the world because she wants me. And it does something for him that, ladies, if you would tap into that strength that you have and release that gift to him, there's nothing that he couldn't tackle.
And that's how men feel loved. So
Ladies, if you
probably
want,
the homework
yeah.
is pretty obvious.
You want affection, ladies. You want them to make you feel loved and special. The same thing is true with them. It's just in a different way. So why don't you practice this week? In fact, guys, if you did your homework last week, then why don't you turn and ask your wife, which of these 2 of the 5 basic needs can I work on? Do the action items, but then pick 2 that you're going to specifically ask her to be a part of. Ladies, engage. Fulfill the needs of your man, and you watch how your marriage begins to solidify into something you're proud of. Christ did it in us. We couldn't do it without his strength, so we encourage you to turn to Jesus first. Pray about it. Allow him to transform your life and transform your marriage.
Thank you, Pastor Charlie and Pastor Sandy. Another great talk. You guys seem to have figured something out in the last 35 years. Guys, I hope you did your homework last week, because as the women do their homework this week, they're more likely to do it if you went ahead and put into practice the principles that you applied from the previous week. Everyone, have a great group discussion.